We have different types of corrosion. Okay, different types of corrosion. There are basically 8 types, right? Basically 8 types. Uniform corrosion, pitting corrosion, transgranular or intergranular, exfoliation, stress corrosion, crevice corrosion, galvanic corrosion, and erosion, right? So these are those 8 types. Okay, so we will see one by one, right? Pitting corrosion, right? Pitting corrosion. This localized form of corrosion is characterized by the formation of irregularly shaped cavities on the surface of the metal. Their diameter and depth depend on several parameters related to the metal, the medium, and service conditions. So, the localized form of this corrosion is characterized by the formation of irregularly shaped cavities. So, here if you see, there is a cavity. Here also we have a cavity, right? So, irregularly shaped, it does not have a proper shape, right? And they are not throughout the surface, right? But they are at some certain places, right? The previous one, if you have seen, that is throughout the surface. The pores or cavities, that is throughout the surface. This is not like that. This is pits, but at some certain locations, right? It is characterized by the formation of irregularly shaped cavities on the surface of the metal, right? On the surface of the metal. Their diameter and depth depend on several parameters related to the metal, the medium, and the service conditions, right? So why this cavities occurred and how is it occurred is all depend on the metal, right? So the diameter, this is the diameter, what is the depth, right? These all depend on the metal, what's the metal, medium, and the service conditions. So service conditions in the sense where is it being applied, right? So different applications, there can be like different faults are possible, right? So what is the application, and then we need to see that. Unlike uniform corrosion, the intensity and rate of pitting corrosion can be assessed neither by determining the mass loss nor by measuring the released hydrogen, right? Why it is said like that is it is not spread throughout the surface, right? It is in the certain particular region, right? The intensity and rate of pitting corrosion, right? Intensity means how fast it is occurring. Rate of corrosion, right? How much of time needed for certain amount of corrosion. These two of pitting corrosion can be assessed neither by mass loss nor by released hydrogen. So mass loss can't be used here. Hydrogen release also can't be used here because this is not uniform. This is in the very particular places, right? Pitting corrosion can be assessed using 3 criteria, right? The density, that is number of pits per unit area, rate of deepening, and the probability of pitting, right? So these 3 need to be considered. So if I want to draw it, right? So say for example, here I have a pit and here I have a pit. Also here I have another pit. Okay. The density mean number of pits per unit area. So if I take this as unit area, okay, unit area, so I can assume, okay, in 1 unit area I have 3 pits. So in 10 unit area I have how many pits, right? So that is one way. Then the rate of deepening, right? Rate of deepening means how fast it is going inside the metal, right? How fast it is going inside the metal. So this is what meant by the rate of deepening. Then the rate of deepening and the probability of pitting, right? So probability of pitting mean, for probability we know, right? For 100, how much is the occurrence possibility, right? So how much is the possibility so that this pits may occur, right? Because we don't know why is it occurring, right? So we will go for probability. So probability is something which is not certain, but there is a possibility to happen, right? So will there be raining today or not is a probability, right? It can be in a rainy season or a dry season. If it is rainy season, if you ask the probability of whether it will rain or not, the probability would be high, right? In cyclone period, it's too high. In dry period, if you ask about the probability of raining, maybe in July or August, the probability would be so less, around 10% or something like that, right? That is so low. So similarly, here also probability of pitting. So based on these factors, environment and metal and all, we need to know what is the probability of pitting, right? So why there is actually pitting happening. If these agents, right, the environment and other things, if they are possible around, I mean positive around, then the probability would be high. If there is no reason for this pitting to occur, then the probability would be low, right? So based on this, we would see whether the probability of this one would be high or no, right? So this pitting corrosion can be assessed, I'm saying, okay? There are no standard formula for that, right? Using this criteria, density. So density, you don't think mass over volume, right? Don't think mass over volume. We are not talking about that density. We are talking about the density, number of pits per unit area, okay? Number of pits per unit area. Rate of deepening, right? How fast it is going deep into the metal and the probability of pitting. So how much is the probability to pits to occur, right? So on this way, we can calculate if we wish, right? And in fact, these measurements do not make sense because a very deep and isolated pit results only in a small mass loss, whereas a very large number of superficial pits can lead to a large mass loss, right? So why we don't use this mass loss is, right? Why we don't use mass loss is, say for example, you have a pit like this, okay? I will try to draw it in a 3D. So it would be like this, right? Say for example, this pit has gone throughout the surface up to the other surface, okay? So this is first thing. And then as you may have another pit, is too lengthy in size, but this goes only up to this much, right? Okay, this much is the depth, but for this, the total depth is the depth, okay? So in this case, very deep and isolated pit, right? Very deep and isolated pit results only in a small mass loss. So here the mass loss, if you see, it's very less, right? Mass loss is very less because it is diameter is small, thickness is small, right? So the mass loss is very small. Whereas a very large number of superficial pits, right? So here I am taking only one pit for you, explain to you, can lead to a large mass loss, right? So if it is smaller in layer depth and larger in diameter and all, then mass loss would be high, right? So you can't simply say, you can't simply calculate mass loss as an measurement for this. So that's why these measurements do not make any sense because of this reason, right? So mass loss means you will calculate the mass loss for this entire block, right? But that will not give you the exact loss in each region because that is not uniform, right? So somewhere here that would be one reading, somewhere here that would be one reading. So that is not uniform. So that's why it's mentioned the mass loss will not be having any specific effect on this. Not specific effect, it can't be used actually to calculate the loss, right? Measurements do not make any sense, right? So this is the reason. So pitting corrosion, it needs pit and it would propagate through the pits, right?